the courtroom.
So what is it? Capital punishment is defined as the legal authorization of killing as a punishment for a crime. This is also known as the death penalty. The capital punishment has many arguments. The death penalty is not cruel, inhuman, or degrading, as it is normally imposed only for the most serious offences. Capital punishment is lawful according to Article 6 of the ICCPR. In some countries, it is prohibited in almost all circumstances except in a time of war. It is held by judges in many jurisdictions and does not violate the constitutions. It is a strong deterrent to violent crime. It provides adequate retribution for the most heinous offences. The accused person have or are given resources and financial support to employ experienced counsel, undertake necessary investigation and research, and employ expert witnesses to give advice. Public opinion has historically been in favour of the death penalty. The death penalty is cruel, inhuman, and degrading. It is the most serious impairment of human dignity. It is consistent with the right to life and negates any rights that flow from it. It is irreversible. That's right, irreversible. So what if that person was innocent? Technology hasn't quite gotten to necromancy just yet, so if there's been a mistake, you can't really do much about it. The evidence of its deterrent effect is not convincing. Few rationally accept that committing a murder may land them in a death sentence. Life imprisonment without a possibility of parole is equally incapacitating. Capital punishment is unfair, especially when the aspect of discrimination such as social status and race. Most people argue that the death penalty is the most significant invasion of human rights as it deprives a person of all rights. When Ronald Reagan was hanged, he did not die instantly. People in electric chairs have caught fire and death would take many minutes to occur. In December 2006, the execution of Angel Diaz via 2 doses of lethal drugs took over 34 minutes. They accidentally injected into his muscles instead of his veins. He writhed in pain and spoke during the procedure. Amnesty International attempts to intercede governments on behalf of prisoners awaiting execution. They oppose the death penalty in all cases without exception regardless of the nature of the crime, the characteristics of the offender, or the method used by the state to kill the prisoner. The NSWCCL has been a vocal critic of the Australian Federal Police assistance to investigations that have led to capital punishment in other countries. The CCL is emphatically opposed to the use of Australian resources to place people at the risk of execution. This is contrary to Australia's international obligations. The Bali bombings in 2002 resulted in 202 people dead, 88 being Australian tourists. Regarding the Bali bombers, John Howard, as Prime Minister, said that if the death penalty is what the law of Indonesia provides, that is how things should proceed. Such statements undermine Australian arguments against the death penalty for Australians tried in Indonesia and elsewhere. Countries that still use capital punishment include Afghanistan, Bahamas, Belarus, Botswana, Chad, China, Cuba, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Ethiopia, Gambia, Guatemala, Guinea, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Japan, Jordan, Laos, Lebanon, Libya, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nigeria, North Korea, Oman, Pakistan, Russia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Somalia, South Korea, South Sudan, Syria, Taiwan, Tajikistan, Thailand, Tonga, Uganda, United Arab Emirates, United States, Vietnam, Yemen, and Zimbabwe.